La Liga returns to normal. PSG planned double swoop. Spurs are offered a former Arsenal man, a transfer roundup, and a look back on your Friday feels all coming up in the next few minutes. As I'm your host, Matt Froelich, you are the Onefootballers, and this is the Daily News. So first up, La Liga is back, and there was absolutely no signs of rustiness anywhere. I mentioned this about the Bundesliga a few weeks ago. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen after COVID? There's been a few months rest, there's this and that, players in and out of form, players not fit. Everything went back to normal. Bayern Munich is still winning. Dortmund is still winning. The title race is pretty much done and dusted. And the same thing happened over the weekend with La Liga. I mean, it took Barcelona less than 2 minutes to score against Mallorca, with Arturo Vidal getting on the score sheet. Messi was back to his brilliant best, 2 assists and a goal. Real Madrid looked fantastic, especially in the first half against Eibar. There was a bit of a stumble for Atletico Madrid in what's been a generally poor season, and a few of the sides of the bottom weren't doing so well, like Leganés and Celta Vigo. I mean, yes, Espanyol won against Alaves, but apart from that, football kind of returned without really missing a beat. This doesn't necessarily, as a Spurs fan, make me too optimistic for the return of the Premier League. But, like we mentioned before, Haaland was in the goals with Borussia Dortmund. And if it wasn't for the fact that Cristiano Ronaldo missed a penalty, everything would have gone to plan in Juventus as well. I mean, they did make it through to the final of the Coppa Italia with Italian football returning, but it was a 0-0 draw, rather unlike a Cristiano Ronaldo team. But yeah, on top of this, I guess the best thing over the weekend was that not only was Spanish football back, but there was also a fair chance to see quite a few players returning from injury. Luis Suarez made his long-awaited return for Barcelona, and Eden Hazard really looked to pick up some good form as he got an assist and just generally had a really good game for Real. So what this does mean is that Barca stay 2 points ahead of Real Madrid with 10 games to play, and in all honesty, this is how I think it's going to finish. I'm not sure either side's going to drop any points. I just think they're going to win the next 10, and that's going to be that, and then Barcelona will finish 2 points ahead of Real Madrid. But moving on to some transfer news, where PSG are running up a rather amazing double swoop for two brothers, that being Luca and Theo Hernandez. Now, one of these is rather reasonable, the other not so much. The first one is that because Layvin Kurzawa and Thiago Silva and Cavani actually are leaving the club, as confirmed by sporting director Leonardo over the weekend, PSG need some new players, and they definitely don't need to sell to go ahead and splash the cash. So, the first brother is Theo Hernandez. He's had a pretty good season with AC Milan. He obviously moved from Atleti to Real Madrid. Things didn't quite work out, but at AC, he's doing quite well. The fact that AC Milan doesn't look like they're going to be in a major European competition next season means that allowing him to move to PSG is something that AC Milan will probably do if they get a good bit of money, and he'll definitely want to join a team that's going to win some trophies and compete in the Champions League. This one, I can see happening. Luca Hernandez, though, there's all sorts of complications around this deal. So first off, Bayern spent 80 million euros on him. So there's no way they're going to spend that much and not demand that back in return. He's been injured for a lot of his Bayern career. Are PSG going to pay 80 million for him? I know they spend a lot of money. I can't really see this one happening. I mean, the reason that his future is in doubt at Bayern Munich is because firstly, David Alaba's been moved into centre-back and has done a pretty good job. Secondly, there's the likes of Sula and Pavard as well, and Boateng's still there, although he isn't getting any younger. And lastly but not least, Alphonso Davies has been absolute fire at left-back, meaning Hernandez isn't even promised much game time. This is obviously not a good look for him, especially as he wants to be in the France squad for the Euro 2021. Anyway, aside from the money, maybe, just maybe, PSG could convince him to move. As I mentioned before, if he isn't going to get this game time under Hansi Flick at Bayern Munich, he's going to go to a team that's winning titles, competing in the Champions League, and although they're not at the same level as Bayern, he's probably going to get a lot more money as well. Plus, you get to play alongside your brother, and that's a pretty cool, unique thing. But moving on to a transfer deal that may not happen to one that looks very unlikely to happen, and that is Spurs bringing in former Arsenal man Aaron Ramsey. It's not like he played for Arsenal ages ago, that he's not a legend there, like, someone from the youth academy. Ramsey is a full-on Gunners hero and only left the club last summer to sign for Juventus. The reason that he's going to apparently move back to the Premier League, because the likes of Manchester United are also interested as well, is because he's not really getting much game time, and his 400k a week wages mean that no other league really historically has the kind of money to pay him for that, aside from the Premier League. Now, I said it before last season, and it's no shade now on Ramsey at all. I think he's a good player. In fact, he's a great midfielder. He's just not a Juventus level. When he signed for a free, I was like, yep, they get him on a free transfer. They don't have to deal with any sort of dealing with the club or big transfer fees they would have had from signing any other player. He wants to join. We'll give him 400k a week because we're not paying for a transfer fee, but he's not good enough. He's not Juventus level. He's not Champions League challenging title winning level of player. If he was, he would have stood out at Arsenal week in, week out as by a mile and a half their best player. But he didn't. Would he have got into Arsenal's strongest 11 last season or this season? You'd probably say yes if you're taking an in-form, fit Aaron Ramsey. But on the whole, no. He wasn't a standout player, so I don't quite know why anyone thought he would succeed that well at Juve. Anyway, besides this, he hasn't started too many games under Maurizio Sarri. Looks like he'll be returning to the Premier League. And, well, if it's a loan deal, then someone's only going to have to cover part of his wages. This I can't see Spurs doing. I don't think they want to bring him in. I highly, highly doubt Ramsey, with Arsenal in his heart, wants to return to Tottenham. So if he does come back to the Premier League, it may look like Manchester United will be the ones to bring him in. Of course, that's just me saying that because United are linked with everyone, but there have been one or two rumours linking them with Ramsey more than any other club. So next up, we come to a quick roundup of the rest of the day's transfer news, where apparently Newcastle United and their soon-to-be multi-million-pound transfer budget are interested in bringing in Chelsea's fullback Marcos Alonso. Morgan Stanley has reportedly agreed a deal to move to Liga side Nice. Both Tottenham and West Ham are interested in Roma's Paul Lopez, who is available for around 36 million euros. And lastly but not least, Julian Nagelsmann, the RB Leipzig manager, has admitted that although no deal is confirmed just yet, the chances of holding on to Timo Werner next season are pretty much impossible. So lastly but not least, we come to this week's Friday Feels Roundup. This is where you guys left your footballing predictions on Friday's Daily News. I should say in Friday Daily News comment section. So a few of you got them right, and here are the lucky few. First off, and Eric Paredes said that Eden Hazard would show the form the media has been talking about with either an assist or a goal against Eibar, which he did. A good assist for Sergio Ramos. Gadiala Romani predicted that Mallorca would unfortunately be at the end of a 4-0 battering from Barcelona, which, as we spoke about earlier, also happened over the weekend. And Laliath Adithan guessed that Juventus AC Milan would finish 0-0 with Juve advancing on away goals. And thanks to that Cristiano Ronaldo missed penalty, that is the way it finished. So there you have it, that is all from me for today. Make sure you let me know your thoughts on the Daily News down in the comments section. And whilst you're at it, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, and don't forget to check out all the other stuff we've got going on Onefootball by clicking here or here. Anyway, that's all from me, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.